Good morning, good morning. Welcome everybody. It's a new week, new opportunities. Kicking off with plenty of volume here already. I don't know what's up with my intro screen, why it kept going black, but anyway. What's up, Jared? Good in you?
Yes, no complaints here.
Yeah, well, I mean, buy ideas were given here to the members, but looks like gold is not holding back for anybody. Don't know what to say, don't know what to do. Gonna have to make a new plan here. Let's have a look at GJ. This analysis still stands on GJ. So I sent this through to the members this morning. Really, I understand that this is a 200 pip range. You're more than welcome to take trades in this range. At the end of the day, this is simply my trading. This is the way I want to approach it. And I don't want to force positions in an area where there's indecision, where there's uncertainty in the markets, because I understand the risks. So I'm going to wait for breaks below 160.275 for sells here on GJ. I do believe that looks very nice. Otherwise, possibly getting back into the bullish bias above 162. But for now, I'm not doing anything on GJ until we can break below this area. Then on gold. What the fuck, gold? I don't know what to say. I looked at it this morning, it looked really good, but I mean, we've just rocketed up here. Let's look to the left, see what we can see in terms of new targets. Okay, 1995 is looking like a pretty good target here for gold for the day, possibly. We got a bottom wick on the daily and weekly candle, and it looks like we're just coming in hot here with this demand in these safe haven assets. Could possibly just come up, create a top wick, and see rejections here. I know that the banks were doing a lot of work over the weekend. Central banks from all over the world trying to just ease this issue that we've had now with the banks. Credit Suisse, so here we go, UBS agrees to buy Credit Suisse. So this should potentially dampen some of that fear, and that's why we didn't really see a gap up this week like we did last week. But I mean, we can see that bullish pressure coming in here on gold. So we'll see. There your daily candle just flipped bullish. For a moment, you've created a top wick on the daily. So I will say potential buys above 1988. But at the same time, I'll just monitor this area to see if we see rejections here. You know what, Seth? As long as you stuck to your plan, that's fine. If you feel you got out too early, then, obviously you can reassess the situation. But as long as you stuck to your plan, there's nothing wrong if price continues moving up, even after you've secured your profit. I think we had buys the other day. Was it Friday? Yeah, I think it was Friday. Had bars. Oh yes, we had bars around here. So I didn't host the New York session, but I did send out a signal. And I think the bars were taken at 1937. And TP was 1950. So beautiful trade. 120 pips or so. But to look later on that we had pushed all the way up to like 1990 nearly, another 300 pips. It's tough, but at the end of the day it was an amazing trade, so you just got to be grateful for it. Gold is really just not waiting for anybody here today. Very nice, very nice. Can I ask, well, trade it here in Nigeria? That's what I meant. Of course, bro, you can trade it anywhere. Doesn't matter if you're from Nigeria. The markets don't discriminate. And neither do I. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining today. Morning, morning, boys. I think GJ is going to be the one this morning. Gold is, there's plenty of volume. Looks amazing, but at the same time, we've just already moved so much. I'm not saying that we can't continue to move up, but I don't want to get greedy here or FOMO into anything. Looks like we're on our way to 2000. Just technically speaking, you know, this previous candle never closed above resistance. If this current candle comes back down, closes bearish here, that would show quite strong signs of rejection to this level. And, you know, just very interesting that we came up to create that top wick for the daily candle. I don't really want to just be selling so aggressively, but we'll see what happens here. Still think GJ might be the move for the day. Is there a funded account that needs a small deposit? Go and have a look on myforexfunds.com. 500, I'm not sure if you're talking rands or dollars. My Forex Funds has a $5,000 account, which I'm sure is probably like 500 bucks, 500 rand. Morning. Are the signals part of the course? There's no course, just mentorship. You do get a free beginner's course included there, but it's just a basic crash course, nothing crazy. The main product is really the mentorship. That's what we're focusing on. And there are signals that you can pay for separately, but I encourage you to join the mentorship, because I want you to learn the skill. I want you to become independent. I don't want you to be relying on signals. But it's there. I offer the service. Those are the trades I take. Those are the trades Jared takes. Can you show the TP and stop loss prices? There's no trade. There's no trade, guys. Look at gold. Just looking back to see weekly candles with no top wicks, because as you can see, last week's candle closed no top wick. Not something I've ever really paid attention to on the weekly time frame. But generally, lower time frames, you are paying attention to these candles with no top wicks. So very interesting here. I'm not seeing too many. See that this one here, next week was bearish. But at the end of the day, it's not as simple as just a candle with no wick. There's a lot going on. It's what is driving price. If there's enough fear in the market, doesn't really care if there's no top wick on that weekly candle, we'll continue driving up. But technically it looks like we could be setting up to possibly come back down this session. We've had a very impulsive move up to come up and create a top wick for the daily candle. You can see that we had no top wick on the current daily candle. Last week's candle also closed no top wick. So we've come up, created that top wick, showing signs of rejection here. Previous candle never closed above resistance. We've come back and flipped bearish on this current candle. Thought today was national shutdown. Moved to the beat of my own drum. Not about that. It's a normal day for me. Should be a normal day for you as well, if you've got dreams and goals. Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean you should do it. You need to focus on yourself, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. That's why society is the way it is. I always say, if everybody worked on themselves, everybody focused on making sure that they were the best version of themselves, society as a whole would be better. But people are lazy. People don't take responsibility for themselves. They want handouts. They want to put the blame on other people. They play victim. And that's why society is the way it is. If everyone was the best version of themselves, if everyone pushed to be better every single day, the whole world would be a better place. Fucking gold is wilding out today. What do you guys think of the new thumbnail? Let me know there in the chat. I need some feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down, let me know. I was trying to go for a more professional look. Also, go and watch the new YouTube video that I posted if you haven't watched it yet, about trading in volatile markets. As you can see right now, we've got this volatility. So I just made that video in preparation for the week. Thought it was pretty good timing. Looks corporate as fuck. That's what I was going for. Thank you, Actorino. Alright, nice rejection here to the highs here in gold. Like I say, with the bank sorting out some of this stuff over the weekend, with Credit Suisse being bought out, it's dampening some of this fear. So maybe we see a little bit of a correction from last week's move. We had a crazy move up last week Friday. You know, we moved up just in that day, what, 600 pips? So we could easily retrace some of that comeback, retest like 1950 at least. Seeing rejections of the highs here, I do think that we could continue coming down. In terms of setups, that would have been nice on the break of previous 15-minute lows, but then you've got an issue of where to place stops. You know, that stop loss would be 100 pips. Could have looked on the lower time frames, but I just wanted a bit of extra confluence, so I might even wait for the 30-minute to close. If we're closing bearish on the 30-minute, then if I can scale in maybe and we get a top wick, you know, look for something like that on the new 30-minute, possibly. Just throwing out my thoughts. Let's have a look at DXY while we've got some time here. Bit of uncertainty on the DXY. We saw that sell-off from the SVB story, and then with Credit Suisse, since that's a European bank, we saw the dollar actually acting as a safe haven. So we saw that surge up in the dollar. Other than that, nothing crazy going on here. Keep in mind we've got FOMC press conference and interest rate decision on Wednesday evening. So members will do a stream for that. They are looking to raise interest rates by 25 basis points. If they do raise rates through all of this fear, uncertainty and doubt, it just shows that their primary focus is to tame inflation, and they're not too worried about these banks going under and the economic instability. They're more worried about taming inflation. So if they come in and raise rates even by 25 basis points, it will show that they are pretty hawkish, and that should bring some strength to the dollar. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens through the week, because obviously we still have these banking issues lingering, but at the same time we have the interest rate decision later this week. So maybe this is just, you know, an amazing price setup for sales, or maybe it's, you know, economic collapse coming up and gold pushing to new all-time highs. We'll have to see. Who knows? I don't have a crystal ball, you know. Took a sell when 1 hour respected resistance on the candle flip. I mean, that wasn't a bad idea. Not really my style, that's quite aggressive, but not looking too bad. As long as the 30-minute close is bearish. Okay, so just having a look here. If we do end up closing bullish above resistance on the 15-minute, I had potential buys marked up above here. Took them off after that rejection. I should have probably left them on. So, you know, if this 15-minute closes back above that level, stops are huge, bro. But I mean, you've got a wick to fill there. You'll just have to see. You could probably scale in here to a 5-minute today with all this volume. Volume's coming in. So if we close bullish above 1988.3, what I'll be waiting for, because at the end of the day, risk comes first. You need to know where your stop loss is going to be, and it needs to make sense. So stops make the most sense below this current candle. But unfortunately, that's really big, 70 pip stops. So what I'll do is, if we could just close above this planned level here, 1988.3, if we can get a nice bottom wick on that next candle, then I could use current candle stops even. If we get a nice bottom wick before breaking the highs of this previous 15-minute candle now, let me get zoom annotate out here. I'll draw it out for you guys. Okay, so if we come down, create a bottom wick. So let's say something like this. Say now that's your bottom wick. And then as we come up and break the highs, I could have a bar on the break of those highs. And what I'll do then is use current candle stops. With all this volume, I think current candle stops are not too bad. So I'd look for something like that. Would give us a much more reasonable stop loss. And you've got about 60 pips or so, 65 pips moving back up to the next key level at 1995. Okay, GJ breaking below that support area. Looks good to continue on down as well. This is, just helping us build confidence now. We can see this demand in these safe haven assets. We can see this order flow coming into the yen and gold. So gold sells, gold buys, GJ sells this morning, making a lot of sense right now. In terms of GJ, I think stop loss is also going to be quite tricky here. To be honest, I prefer gold. Because we've got a wick to fill here on gold as well. Okay, so we're about to close here on the 30-minute and 15-minute candles. 15-minute candle close bullish there above that level. I do want to see a bottom wick being formed, and then I'm pretty happy here. So going to have a buy stop on the flip of this candle at 1990.4, let's call it. Then I'll use previous 5-minute stops here. I know it sounds ridiculous, but with volume you shouldn't come back and break below that level if we are looking to continue moving up here. So stop loss will be about 33 pips or so. So I got my buy stop at 1990.3 here, and stop loss at 1986.8. Thank you, Jared. Man's on it. Ooh, okay, should be in here. I'll go break even as we fill that wick to the left there. Gonna keep my TP at 2000 flat. Didn't really get the volume I wanted there on the flip of that candle. We'll see if we respect 1988.3 though. Am I in? Yeah, I'm in. What does PE point mean? Break even point. So when we tap into that level where I've set as a BE point, then I'll move my stop loss to my entry so that essentially it would be a risk-free trade. Looking good, looking good. If we break current candle lows, that's an area where you could potentially manage risk. So like I say, if we break previous candle lows, I'll close half here on the 5 minutes. Just extremely volatile, so I want to be managing risk quite aggressively here. Also, stop loss placement is not really as ideal as I would like. For me, I'd really like to stop below the previous 30-minute candle, but that's like 80 pips, so way too big. Had to make do with the stop loss here. Click like for this trade to fly. I wish. This is the funded live account. So past phase 1 and phase 2, you can see Traders Global Group live. This was phase 2 here. Not gonna go into it now. BE point coming up. I really do think gold gave better opportunities here in terms of entries and everything. GJ was pretty tough. You didn't even get a top wick on that current candle. Can you keep the account as long as you want? Or does it expire? No, it doesn't expire. You can keep it as long as you stay within the rules. Just hovering around break even here. These 5-minute candles are just closing very weak bodied. So volume has died out here for a second, but we're still trading above 1988.3. If we just zoom out here, we do still look pretty good to at least fill this wick. "20 minutes till London Open." No, it's London Open should still be at 10, if I'm not mistaken. So I think we've still got an hour and 20 till London Open. I may be mistaken, but I know that UK hasn't gone back to their daylight savings times. Yeah, London Open should still be at 10. But yeah, we will move back to the 9 o'clock. For me, the time here on screen, we'll move back to the 9 o'clock London Open later this month. "15-minute candle's about to close in 2 minutes here. Even if we close bearish, as long as we are holding above this level, we should be alright. missed Forex charts. Now is 20 to 7 London. So what time do markets open there local time? At 8. What is my entry point? 1990.3. Okay, so I said if we break current candle lows, I'll close half. So I'm going to close half right here, just to manage risk. So keeping the losses small. New 15-minute just open up. We closed bearish on that previous 15, but keep in mind we're still holding above this resistance at 1988. I think if we could close bullish on the 5-minute, I may look to add back that risk. Five-minute candles pulls slow down. I see that as I get in here, they decide to just stop. You know, these things are going to happen, and that's why you need to manage risk. Understand that each and every trade could play out a different way. You're not going to win every trade, and that's why you need to ask yourself how you can succeed with minimal risk. Not looking too good right now. But I already closed half here. Closed half at about negative 15 pips. And I'm probably out here. Okay, there you go, stop set. So managed risk there. Trying to keep the losses small. In terms of my scaling plan, it was the day to start upping my risk here a little bit. So I went with a bigger lot size. Still managed to keep the losses relatively small there. Closed half, negative 17 pips. Closed full at negative 35 pips. So a bit of a tough one here. I was expecting a little bit more momentum after that bullish candle closure above this level to fill that wick. But still managed risk here, kept the losses small. Lost less than I anticipated to lose. Was pretty tricky here in terms of stops. I had to kind of make a plan and use this 5-minute candle as a stop loss. I said if we do have the volume, we shouldn't come break below that area, and you can see we clearly just didn't have the volume. So let's see here. GJ pushing down nasty here. I do still believe that we could see this move up on gold, because we can still see that demand in these safe haven assets. I mean, yen is just surging here. So I'll just wait to see how the hourly candle closes, see if there's any more opportunities, but not really in a rush. You know, I don't mind calling it a day after taking a loss, just coming back fresh for New York session. There's always going to be more opportunities, and when you take a loss, you need to learn to walk away. Still believe you are flying high? So do I, but I'll have a look now shortly. If we're closing bearish back below this level, you know, that looks like a fake out right there. Based off the 5 minute, we look pretty good here. But what I'll wait for is the hourly close, see if we get a little bit of a bottom wick on the hourly close. Then look for potential opportunities to give this trade a second chance. Still a lot of volume. Still room to move up. And fundamentally, we can see here that this fear is still holding a lot of weight. This uncertainty with the banking sectors, with global tensions, still holding a lot of weight. Recession scares. Guys, I'll be back right now. Looks good. Looks really good. So I'm only scaling in here today to a 5 minute based off all this volume and understanding that using previous 30 or previous hourly stops will be very, very big. But with volume, you know, when we've got a clear setup on the lower time frames, the probabilities do increase. So looks like your hourly candle is closing above here. And we've just opened up no bottom wick, driving up. So if we could just come down, create a bottom wick, what I'll do is I'll place bar stops as this hourly rebreaks its own high. Okay, we didn't come down to create the bottom wick. Yeah, it looks like it may push without me here. Morning, Former Tom. Hopefully we could win back what we lost. That's not really the correct mindset. Just need to focus on the next trade. Next trade might also be a loss. That's trading. We're just playing the probabilities. Pretty volatile at the moment. We might not get that bottom wick. We might just continue pushing up here. If we break previous 30-minute highs, I would anticipate us to just fill this previous hourly wick here. But I'm going to hold off, see if we can just get a tap into 1988.3 here to form that bottom wick for the hourly and 30-minute. Because that would give us better entry opportunities, safer stops. I'm not just going to FOMO into the trade just because we're moving up. Gold and GJ moving quickly today. Difficult to find solid positions. Yeah, very tricky. Just important to practice discipline in these situations. Because if you were to enter right now, let's say, we could easily come down 50 pips, create that bottom wick on the hourly, and then you're sitting in 50 pips drawdown. You don't have a logical stop loss. It's just very tough. So it looks like we're breaking previous 30-minute highs. Probably just going to motor on up here. You have entry at 1988. Yeah, very nice entry. Alright, so I think for me, I'm gonna call it a session here. You know, I've missed this move. Gave it an attempt just now. Managed risk, took a loss. Didn't manage to get into this second attempt here. Hourly candle opened up, no bottom wick, we're just pushing up here. So extremely volatile here this morning. So just be careful, guys. Understand that trading in these conditions is very tough. Your stop losses will generally be a little bit bigger. You're extremely volatile. You can get these 50 pip pullbacks very quickly before continuing up. And you need to just understand when to walk away. So right now, I missed that second entry opportunity I was looking for to give it a second shot. And that's fine. That's trading. I didn't get my entry signals coming to me. So I've had the discipline here to stay out. Walking away with a small loss. And I think that's going to be a lot better than trying to force anything, FOMO into something, revenge trade. In the long run, this is what's going to build consistency for you. GJ also, you know, had this idea planned out for sales below here. But for me, I just didn't get any sort of entry signal here. So very tough conditions. Very nice volume. Definitely very nice volume to take advantage of, but just make sure that you're getting all the right signals to get involved into these positions, that you are focusing on your risk, where you're placing your stop loss, and yeah, just be aware of those things. But guys, thank you so much for joining today. Bit of a tough session, but that's perfectly fine. I'm sure there will be plenty of volume for New York as well, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. So take it easy. Thanks guys for joining again. Safe trading. Cheers.